everyone, I am Mohit and I welcome you all to Eulogic Classes, a society of learners. Today we're going to talk about the World Affairs section of HSC. I would say this is the most interesting one, not only because it's my favorite, but for this section you have to create link between the current and the static world affairs. For example, let me explain you clearly. Last year Afghanistan crisis happened, right? Now HSC can ask question related to Afghanistan crisis this year in this HSC 2022 exam. So basically you have to create a link between the current and the static GK. So in this video I will talk about the world affairs section, what should be your approach to cover its syllabus, because there is a lot, because world static GK never ends. So listen to me carefully throughout the video. I will tell you everything how you can approach this section, how you can cover the syllabus easily. Before we move on to main discussion, don't forget to subscribe to Eulogic Classes, because we started Eulogic Classes to help you out in HSC preparation. We have launched the mock test series to boost your preparation. With special 20% discount, you can buy our mock test series just for rupees 1200. In this 1200 rupees, you will get 15 mocks with detailed solution and special guidance till the HSC exam. And we are also going to launch the comprehensive, concise and credible study material for HSC. More about this in the future videos. So let's start with the basics. The world affairs section tests the candidate's knowledge of world history entirely, while the other sections such as Indian society and culture section, that is specific to Indian history and India's demography. World affairs on the other hand tackles issue and happening at the global level. To put it in plainly, the question in this section are analogous with the world history and the current global world affairs. Keeping up with the current affairs by reading the newspaper regularly or reading weekly magazine will give you a understanding about the world affairs, world events. So as you can see on the screen, it's the world affairs section syllabus. I will tell you how to approach this world affairs section on this slide only, okay? So as you can see, the first thing is emergence of US and USSR. This first paragraph shows everything about the Cold War era, okay? So how the Cold War begins. First you need to go for the World War I, then World War II, then the Cold War, and in Cold War all these things came. Cold War, disintegration of Soviet Union, decline of communism, rise of nationalism, Arab-Israel conflict. It was happened in the Cold War era, right? In the timeline you can see the years are matching. So for this, first you should study the class 12th political science book, the contemporary world politics book, okay? In that NCERT book you will get the brief ideas about these topics that are mentioned in the syllabus. And I mentioned this point in the previous video also, that NCERT is not enough. Things that are mentioned in the NCERT are not enough. You have to Google them to gain the extra knowledge, okay? So you can just, for example, the first chapter of that book is Cold War. So you have to search what is Cold War, okay? And then you have to search who give this term Cold War. There's a certain person who give this term, okay? And it is also asked in the previous year question also. Another approach is you have to Google the famous authors that are of this timeline, this Cold War. What are the famous books of this timeline, okay? So in this way you will be able to tackle the questions which are asked about the books and author or any relevant timeline things. So the first thing you have to do, go to the syllabus, look at the topics, then go to the book, the contemporary world politics book of class 12th NCERT. Then you have to Google all these things. I know it's a vast thing, but you have to do this because world affairs is of 18 marks. And for getting into IIT, every single mark is important. Most of the things that are mentioned in the syllabus are also mentioned in that contemporary world politics book. But the information that is present in that book is not enough. So you have to Google those information which are present in that book. And better if you write those Google thing on that book only. When you will revise all this while the exam is near, it will be helpful for you. So let me show you now the content of World Affairs Eulogic Classes study material. Just to show you how you can tackle the one by one the syllabus of World Affairs. As you can see the content, World War I, World War II, emergence of UN system. In UN system there is a lot of things. UN organization, what are the reports published by those organizations and all, okay? So you have to tackle all them together. Next is Cold War. Cold War is really a vast topic. You have to remember the important wars, you have to remember the important events, deterrence happened and all. So you have to remember all these things. Next is nuclear race and treaties. It happened in the Cold War only. NAM and the role of India. It is also an important topic. And when you will learn about these topics, you can also prepare this for the essay writing also. Because in past they have asked question related to organizations, WTO and IMF, World Bank. So, and they also asked a lot of essay topics on globalizations also, okay? For that you have to gain a certain knowledge of the world affairs. After name and role of India, you have to search for the India and the world. How India's foreign policy shaped India's future and India's past, how India behaved with its neighbor. It's include the India's neighborhood first policy and all the relation, all the free trade agreement, everything. And next is very important, China and the world. Last year in HSC, HSC 2021, they asked 2 questions from China. Okay, so China is always been a hot topic, and China is always in the news also. Okay, so you have to get a clear idea about the China's history, China's present issues with India and the world, present policies like Belt and Road Initiative, and all these things. Also keep in mind the names of the leaders. For the World War I war were the important leaders, World War II, emergence of UN system leaders, and Cold War, and China, India. You have to remember all these leaders' name also. The next is disintegration of USSR, why it is happened, who were the leaders of USSR, when did USSR invaded the Afghanistan. Okay, so as I told you in the starting of this video, Afghanistan crisis happened in this previous year also, so they can ask the question related to it. So you have to make a relation. After the disintegration of USSR, US hegemony has started, so you have to learn a lot about this. Many things are mentioned in the book only. So like whatever the operation, whatever the fight against the terrorism, why the global war on terror, who were the leaders, what was the policies. So you have to gain all this knowledge about these topics. You can take screenshot now, and you just need to just Google all these things, and you are ready for the world affairs. I can assure you this, because most of the time questions that are asked in the world affairs section, these only circle around these topics only. After international terrorism, as you can see in the on the screen, Arab Spring is mentioned. Arab Spring includes many revolutions in the Tunisia, in the Egypt, in the Yemen, and Yemen crisis is also going on right now. So you have to get aware of all these topics. Arab-Israel conflict. Last year, Israel and Palestine goes into a war. Okay, so these countries were in the news. So you have to be ready about the question about the Arab and Israel in this year HSC 2022. So as I told you, make connection between current and the static GK. How can I skip this part? The world organizations. It includes a lot of world organizations: NATO, Warsaw Pact, European Union, World Bank, IMF, ASEAN, SAARC, BIMSTEC, ISA, OPEC, G7, G20, all these things, all these organizations are in news. So you have to gain knowledge about these organizations, who were the leaders, what are the important reports that they publish, and what is the India's position in these reports. Okay. So overall, these topics are very important for you to tackle the world affairs section. If I talk about the important books and sources, the first thing, as I mentioned, the Contemporary World Politics Class 12th NCERT is very important for tackling this section of HSC exam. Things that are mentioned in this book, you have to Google them. You have to go for the Wikipedia, go for the Britannica. So, and also read the Hindu newspaper editorial. Okay. This will make you aware of the current issues. This will make you aware of the static issues, because in the Hindu editorials, they generally include all these things, current and static, in the editorial only. Okay, so it will be helpful for you. So this was all from my side regarding the how to prepare the world affairs section. In next video, we will discuss how to prepare the Indian society and culture section and the ecology section. Stay tuned with us and subscribe to Eulogic Classes YouTube channel. And if you are interested in our mock test series, you can visit our website. It's linked in the description. And if you want to connect with us with the various social media handles, visit those links that are mentioned in the description section. See you all in the next video. Thank you very much for staying with me. Good luck for your HSC preparation.